The Indashyikirwa model for GBV prevention is a prevention model that was originally created and implemented in Rwanda. The same model was then utilized and adapted in the Syria context between 2019 and towards 2025. In Syria, the initial phases were linked to the adaptation of the existing curriculum, looking at the specific contextualization, at the specific sensitivities that might not have the original curriculum fit the context. And within the induction phase, a team of experts looked at the detailed content and provided the needed modifications. This was done through the engagement of the field offices and the field colleagues that looked at the specific locations and the details of the model. Once the adaptation was done, Indashyikirwa started with the identification of the couples that were supposed to be part of the implementation. So the model is composed of three parts. The first part is the couples curriculum, which is looking at how to shift social norms, negative perceptions, and beliefs that lead to GBV, in particular intimate partner violence, child and early marriage, and other negative behaviors that lead towards different forms of GBV. The model has two additional components, including the opinion leaders curriculum and the community activism, which were also contextualized to the Syria context and are being implemented in the remaining part of the model.
Actually, the Indashyikirwa adaptation model is being implemented in Aleppo. Aleppo is a governorate in North Syria. For a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is that although Aleppo is still in the humanitarian mode of response, we have a lot of areas that is recovering. We saw that it is potential to start prevention program within this area. That's why we started the Indashyikirwa model in Aleppo, and Syria country office is planning to generalize the experience into other locations in Syria.
One important lesson learned is that Indashyikirwa as a GBV prevention model is a very critical model within a protracted crisis context, although it is important to look at adaptation and contextualization because of different sensitivities that are specific of the Syrian context and might not allow to implement the full original curriculum in the specific areas.
For example, for the couple colloquium, in the original manual for the couple colloquium, there was a session about alcoholic session about the people who are addicted to alcohol. However, this session was not suitable for the Syrian context, so we omitted this session and then we added 2 extra sessions, including violence against women and violence against children and early marriage.
One main challenge was the heat of a devastating earthquake that affected different areas of Syria, especially the northwest, including Aleppo, just before the planned beginning of the implementation of the couples curriculum at the beginning of 2023. The earthquake disrupted the plan, so the team on the ground was forced to delay the beginning of the implementation for 2 reasons. The first reason is because the response to the acute emergency that the earthquake brought led to halting all the prevention interventions, which are obviously not part of an acute emergency response. At the same time, most of the couples that were originally recruited to be part of the piloting opted out because they were either directly affected by the earthquake or were busy with also supporting the earthquake and their own families in the aftermath of the earthquake. We looked at potential ways of addressing this challenge, including engaging in a new process of recruitment of couples, and we looked at ways of delaying the implementation of the prevention curriculum a bit later than the originally set date, so that we would not affect the whole process, but we will also take care of the emergency phase. Working with couples is important because within the cultural context of Syria, no decision in the household is taken without the agreement between the head of the household, which is usually a man, and the household members, including the wife. So working with couples in the specific context of Indashyikirwa is key, so that the messages that we are moving forward during the implementation are well received and well accepted within the audience. And at the same time, when we look at buy-in from within the communities, we also need to look not only at the couples that are directly involved in the program, but at their own communities and their own families. So having the buy-in of the man of the household as well as the wife is very important. We also wanted to reduce, Indashyikirwa wants to reduce any harm that could emerge from engaging only women in a prevention model without considering also the husbands or their partners.
Mm-hmm. Another thing we took into consideration is that our entry point to attract the couple was the women and girl safe spaces we already have as UNFPA. These places are already established in our areas that we are implementing the project in. So women and men trust these places. We attracted couples through these WGSSs, and at the same time we make sure that the Women and Girl Safe Space has its own privacy, and the implementation of the session for the couples was happening at the same place but in different floors, in order to keep the privacy of the WGSS, but at the same time in the same place that they trusted already.
One important tip for whoever wants to implement Indashyikirwa in other contexts is contextualization. It is important to look at a specific context where you want to adopt the original model, understand the peculiarities, the cultural environment, and all the sensitivities that might create risks for the implementation of the curriculum.
Another important thing people wants to adapt this curriculum is to take into consideration mapping, analyzing, and assess all the stakeholders and counterparts who are going to be involved in this model or in this program, because you need all the voices to be with you, not against you. You need to take into consideration governmental entities, opinion leaders, people themselves, men, women, and even the implementing partner who is going to involve in your program.